Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So the new moon in Virgo is coming up and it's going to be either on the 9th or 10th of September depending on where you are in the world. So this is a pick a card reading about what messages the new moon has for you, what you can best expect to happen during the new moon, and how you can best work with these energies. So there are 4 piles that you can choose from. So take a deep breath and pick whichever one you're drawn to the most. So number 1 here is sodalite. Number 2 is brecciated jasper. Number 3 is clear quartz. And number 4 is celestite. Okay. So if you haven't chosen yet, just pause the video because I'm going to start now with number 1. Okay, so we've got the 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, the Daughter of Cups, the Father of Wands, and Father Sky. Okay, so it looks like now would be a good time to work on a project or bettering yourself in some way, improving on any skills that you have, working on your education. This might be a time of gratitude for all of the things that you've accomplished so far, all of the material items that you have, and just enjoying all of those things and taking some time to indulge. You can use these energies to get motivation to take on lots of challenges. Maybe you haven't been able to take on these challenges in the past, or maybe you've been afraid to do so, so now would be a good time to challenge yourself. There's also a bit of a theme on creativity and harnessing your creativity. So if you see the Daughter of Cups here, it's about creativity, but more of a peaceful, quiet, emotional, self-reflective, introverted type of creativity. Whereas the Father of Wands is also about creativity, but in a more of an extroverted, forceful, outgoing, expressive sort of way. Just inspiring others. So both of these types of creativity take boldness and courage to express, but it's in different ways. So that might be something to think over. Have you been too scared to take one of these creative approaches? Have you been too much like the Daughter of Cups? Have you been too much like the Father of Wands? Maybe it's time to step outside your comfort zone. It also looks like you're a role model for others. Others might be inspired by your dedication or all the things that you've achieved, your creativity. And it looks like you've learnt to use your intuition well during the Pisces full moon. You've learnt to you're listening to your inner truth. Things are going well for you, but now you have to put those lessons into action and actually get things done and build your reality the way that you want it. So I'm just going to read from the guidebook of the Aboriginal Spirit Oracle for Father Sky. Father Sky is the spirit of the night and the day, the moon, the stars, and the sun. He represents all that is above the ground, out into the endless universe and beyond that which we cannot see. Father Sky is the seer of dark and light, the good and bad, yet with his eternal wisdom he does not judge. Be fair in making your decisions, as people are looking to you for guidance and support. Be respectful in your judgment and don't neglect to see the entire picture. There is much more information you are not aware of at this point. Make some more inquiries and listen to your intuitive feelings in an attempt to gain further insight into this situation. Your judgment in this matter will last beyond this single event and will influence many people around you. You are seen to be a role model by others and have gained respect due to your past actions. Take your time in this situation and give yourself a few more days till you make your final decision. It will be worth the wait. Okay. So, number 2, the Jasper. We've got the 10 of Pentacles reversed, the Death card, the 3 of Cups reversed, the 7 of Pentacles, the Strength card, and Reflection. Okay, so it looks like a big change is happening in your life or has happened recently. There may have been an important ending or transformation, and this has caused a lack of security. So you're unsure about where your life is going, you might be unsure of your long-term prospects, and it's causing you to feel unfulfilled, discontent. You're having difficulty letting your hair down and having fun. You may be feeling disconnected from your friends and from the community. You might be feeling a little bit depressed. Maybe you're unsupported. You feel unsupported and you feel like you can't reach out to anyone or that there's no one left to trust. So I think these are kind of root chakra issues, so maybe you should focus on balancing that. This card is about assessing your life and evaluating what you want and don't want. So you might want to make a list of everything that you want in your life and everything you want to leave out of your life, and kind of formulate an action plan for the long term. And it looks like this is going to be a time of strength and courage. You're going to have to be patient and really persevere. But if you take a mature and composed approach, if you plan things out well, you'll come out on the other side stronger, and you can get through this because you're stronger than you know. Also with this card, you could be assessing your life against others, maybe other people your age. They seem to be progressing ahead of you, their life seems to be moving along and yours seems to be stagnant. You might think that you're not where you should be, but you need to know that everyone's life moves at their own pace and it's going at its own divine timing. So now I'm going to read from the guidebook. So, reflection. Reflection is the ability to look back and see the situation for what it was. It's those moments where you may see things in a different light as time has given you the gift of clarity. Reflection is often referred to as hindsight, but the key to insight is what you do with the information once you have discovered it. Your choice is to either learn from it or continue on as before. Reflection is our quiet time where we have the opportunity to reassess and make changes in our lives, or acknowledge the journey on which we have embarked. You are sad because of the losses you have sustained of late. You may be feeling somewhat depressed and questioning the universe as to why me. Are you feeling like the world is against you? The time is over to continue your indulgence of self-pity. There are still those things that can be salvaged from this situation. Find a moment for some quiet reflection and decide what is worth keeping. When you decide what to keep, spend some time assessing the positive aspects of this situation. There are positive outcomes, it's just you've neglected to see them. It's now time to accept what has happened and change your focus to the positive aspects of your future. Okay, so on to the third Clicots. So, Eight of Swords, Justice, Page of Pentacles, Father of Swords, the Six of Swords, and Ancestral Wisdom. So, this card is about giving your power away and staying in limiting situations. This might be because you lack confidence and you might feel undeserving or unworthy of speaking up and making decisions. You might be victimizing yourself and letting others or outside forces dictate your life. But really it's your right to take control of your own life and live authentically, because you are perfectly capable of making your own decisions, whether you feel like you're able to do that or not. So if there's a dream that you've been thinking about, or if you're intuitively drawn to make a change in your life, this is the time to really take action and bring that into reality. So this new moon might be time to make the commitment to yourself and grow beyond the situations that are making you feel trapped. You might want to write a commitment to yourself, write it down. If you put it in writing, you might be more likely to stick to it. And just make sure that you actually leave behind whatever's hurting you and keeping you trapped. And you just need to get rid of it, no matter how difficult it is. It'll take courage, but you need to make sure you actually put the practical steps in to make sure those negative influences are eliminated from your life. There's also a lot of emphasis in this spread on honesty, accountability, trustworthiness, fairness. So those themes might be something to think about. Do you feel like you've been honest and accountable and fair? Do you feel like others have been treating you fairly and been honest with you? And you might want to repeat the mantra, I trust my inner truth. So I'm going to read from the guidebook about ancestral wisdom. It says, ancestral wisdom comes from your inner self. It's that knowing without any idea where it comes from. Ancestral wisdom is cellular memory that is stored in your body, bringing forth memories from times long ago. Ancestral wisdom is the purest form of self. It remembers your past life experiences and forces you to instinctively trust information with blind faith. It is actual truth with a capital T. Wisdom is passed from generation to generation and from one life to the next. Although this knowledge may not always be easily remembered in this life, these memories can be accessed if you choose. You often know things before they happen and do things without knowing why, but it all works out like you've been doing it forever. Learn to recognize this and begin to trust in yourself and allow this instinctual knowledge to flow freely. Learn to work with your intuitive energies and trust the messages and feelings that come so easily to you. It just takes a little practice of quiet time and meditation to hear the messages of your ancestral wisdom. The key is to trust in these messages. So on to number 4, the Celestite. We've got 4 of Pentacles, the the Star reversed, the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Sun of Wands, and Sadness. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles is about being overly cautious. You can see he's clinging to all of his coins. So you might be anxious, afraid to take risks. You might be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. You could be holding yourself back out of fear. You might feel like you're dependent on something in your life and that you are very attached and clinging to it. And this causes you to feel unfulfilled, depressed. You might not go after what you want or live your best life because of this. So then you're lacking purpose, you have low self-esteem, you feel like your life is hopeless and bleak, feeling dissatisfied. So I think this new moon energy is calling you to reflect on what your priorities are and what you really want out of life. So you might feel like you've taken on too much stress in the past period of time. So you might feel there's too much burden, too much responsibility, you're feeling weighed down, like you have no energy. So now's the time to think about what you can take off your load to lighten it and cut back to the things that you really need. And you might have to be really honest with yourself and with what you can actually cut out, what's actually important to you, and just go back to those things that really are important. It's all about trying to get that balance and prioritize. So also make sure you take time for self-care and relaxation. That's really important this new moon. It might also be a good time to get on top of daily matters, get on top of things, get your life in order so that you can eliminate stress later. If you really work with this new moon energy well, you'll be able to regain that passion for life, and get back that daring, adventurous spirit that you used to have. Maybe in the past you felt like you couldn't say no to things, you had to rise to every challenge. Maybe that came out of a place of wanting to prove yourself and your worth, but you don't always have to do that. You can say no if you want and take a break for yourself because you're worthy and important just for being you. You don't need to prove yourself, you're already worthy. So I'm going to read out of the guidebook for sadness. Sometimes in our lives we come to the fork in the path and find it difficult to make a decision which way to go. If we procrastinate on the side of the road for too long, the universe gives us a little shove to help us get moving again. Sadness can be debilitating for one who finds themselves in this dark place. It can also be a very cleansing emotion, as it marks a point where you recognize circumstances may have to change to allow you to move forward on your journey. You are experiencing great sorrow right now, to the degree it is a challenge for you to get up and keep going each day. This sadness is such that it feels like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. There is light at the end of the tunnel. This sadness will end in the next day or two. There will be no fanfare or miracle that happens. You just simply decide to get on with life. You will realize this is not how you want to use your energy, and it is time to reclaim the life you once led. It will take a few days to get back to normal. You will be feeling really good by then, and happy to be out of that dark place where you had retreated for a while. Okay, So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you have a really nice new moon in Virgo, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you.